The reigning player of the year has made the finals in 8 of the last 9 major championships, winning last month's PBA Tournament of Champions and the 2013 USBC Masters. Today, Belmonte tries to become the 3rd player in 63 years to successfully defend his Masters title and prove that he's one of the greatest of all time. Welcome to Brunswick Zone, Carroll Air in North Brunswick, New Jersey. This is the 2014 United States Bowling Congress Masters. Time now to meet our 5 Masters finalists.
The number 5 seed is the reigning PBA Player of the Year and defending USBC Masters champion. From Orange, New South Wales, Australia, Jason Belmonte. The number 4 seed captured his 2nd national tour title when he won the PBA Chameleon Championship at the 2013 World Series of Bowling. Looking for his first career major win from Cheektowaga, New York, Ryan Simonelli. The number 3 seed captured his 2nd career title when he won the PBA Scorpion Championship at the 2013 World Series of Bowling. The 2009 PBA World Champion from Saginaw, Michigan, Tom Smallwood. The number 2 seed has 3 career PBA Tour titles, including the 2008 PBA Tournament of Champions from Phoenix, Michael Haugen Jr. The number 1 seed is appearing in just his 3rd career televised finals and only has to win 1 game today to take home the championship. The reigning PBA Rookie of the Year, E.J. Tackett.
This is your USBC Masters Step Ladder Bracket. Opening match, Jason Belmonte against the left-hander Ryan Simonelli. The winner moving on to face Tom Smallwood. The survivor will get Michael Haugen Jr. in the semifinal match. And then all the way up the ladder to face E.J. Tackett awaits in the championship match. And hello again, everyone. Mike Jakubowski, greetings and welcome to New Jersey. Mike J. with Randy Peterson, Hall of Famer, and Kimberly Pressler awaits laneside. 2 of the most powerful balls in professional bowling are on display in today's step ladder. From the number 5 position, it's Jason Belmonte. From the top seed, it's E.J. Tackett. Randy, they bring 2 different approaches to generate that power.
They sure do. E.J. Tackett, your number 1 seed, does it with 1 hand. Jason Belmonte does it with 2 hands. Ever since the Thunder from Down Under arrived on this tour 6 years ago, well, let's just say nobody has been able to rival his power. When Jason Belmonte is firing on all cylinders, he's unbeatable on this tour, and he's especially great in majors, coming off of his last win, which was at the Tournament of Champions. Jason Belmonte is making his 8th out of the last 9 major telecasts. E.J. Tackett, on the other hand, well, he does it the more conventional way, using 1 hand. And at 5'7", 135 pounds, he uses every ounce of his body at the foul line. Almost like a broad jumper, he explodes at the finish, creating a massive amount of power. You know, this young man has made shows before. He's never won on this tour, but at 21 years of age, he's got ice water running through his veins. The question I have, Mike J., can he handle the pressure of a major championship?
And that remains to be seen. Jason Belmonte will need to run the step ladder if he'd like to meet Tackett in the final. Belmonte has never been the number 5 seed, and he stands by right now with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, guys. Jason, in the history of this event, nobody has ever climbed the step ladder from the 5th seed and won it all. How do you plan on changing that today?
Right, well, records are meant to be broken, yeah? So basically, I think the idea is to be smart out there, be patient. I'm going to post a lot of my shots and get the ball going through the pins better than the alley go.
Well, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Randy, Mike, back to you.
Going to be exciting. Jason Belmonte You see that he is the defending champion. The last 5 defending champions haven't fared that well. Jason Belmonte already ahead of that curve.
The title has not been defended in a generation, and Belmonte has that opportunity, but he's got a long road ahead of him on the stepladder. "30-year-old Jason Belmonte, defending Masters champion, reigning PBA Player of the Year, trying to go back-to-back in the majors. Opening shot from Brunswick zone, Carolier. Oh, tough break on the 7.
Unbelievable break on the 7. When you have that much power and your ball hits the 1-3 where it just did, hard to believe that anything would stand in its way.
Mark on the board for Belmonte, spare. And here's the Ryan Express. Left-hander Ryan Simonelli, pair of PBA Tour titles out of Cheektowaga, New York, 27 years old. Opening shot. 7-pin.
He's a guy that possesses some power as well. You know, the theme today is going to be whether or not Ryan Simonelli has a good look, because if he does, he's the only southpaw. He has no traffic except his own. And if he can find a home in the 1-2 pocket, he may be unbeatable today.
Spare apiece, opening match at the 2014 USBC Masters. And a look at the oil pattern. 39 feet put out by the United States Bowling Congress, the national governing body.
39 feet. But talking to the players, they all said this was a great pattern. It was fair and equitable. You had lefties, you had guys that go straight, you had guys that hooked it. Everybody felt they had a chance on this oil pattern.
And the first strike slaps the 10. Simonelli with an X.
If I was bowling on the telecast today, and I'm not, I'm sitting in the booth with you, MJ, I'd be afraid of this guy right here, Ryan Simonelli. Going to watch him real close and see what kind of scores he shoots. He starts posting big numbers. Maybe a short day for the right-handers.
First crack at the right lane for Belmonte. A light hit that explodes the 7 out of the rack.
Take a look at how Jason Belmonte got here yesterday in match play against Dom Barrett. Dom leaves a stone 7 in the 9th frame, and in the 10th he just needs a mark. His first ball, he leaves the big 4, does not convert. Belmonte needs a double. First shot, he misses just a little bit at the bottom, tickles the rack for a strike, and then he gets up here needing this strike to make the telecast. And Mike J, he gets it, and he told us both that was probably the best shot of his career.
And we saw that live yesterday on Extra Frame, the online bowling channel. Dom Barrett heartbroken, but Belmonte survives, and he can double here. Opening match. Bang! Double for Belmonte.
Well, I think he was pretty fortunate on this strike, Mike J, because it was pretty much straight up the lane. And when you have that much power, you usually don't get away with anything that's going up the lane. A lot of oil in the middle, and look at that ball hold its line.
Back over to Simonelli. He says, I gotta be myself. I was trying to emulate others for years. Need to understand my limits. Be great at what I do. Avoids the split.
He didn't like it as soon as he let it go. A little too firm. That's probably his DNA when he gets fired up. He tends to get a little too fast and a little overly aggressive, and that's exactly what happened there. But a nice break, only leaving the 3-pin. Hey, this is a major, man. It's pretty easy to get pumped up, and you've got 2 high-powered guys coming right at you in your face game 1.
Here's the scores from yesterday. The winners bracket championship determined 1 and 2 seeds. There was a special 4-player elimination final to determine the final 3 seeds. Belmonte edging out Barrett in that 10th frame. Smallwood, by virtue of the 7:38, qualified 3rd.
That was a good one.
Double elimination, 3 games, total pins in match play, and we're down to single game elimination in our stepladder.
Let's not forget that Jason Belmonte did lead the qualifying portion of this event, averaging just over 230.
Belmonte planned to break down the lanes offensively in practice, and he plans on out-bowling everyone. That's the strategy on the double. Turkey! And a 20-pin advantage through 4.
Well, you could see his strategy early on in this game, too. He's bringing the heat. He's going with the high hard one and trying to keep it a little bit more in front of him, a term that we hear a lot of players use when they're trying to go straighter.
Belmonte gets a fresh deck, and here's a look, Randy, at his arsenal.
Going with the least aggressive ball that he brought to the championship pair. Again, that makes sense when he's trying to play a little bit straighter line. It's kind of an oxymoron when you mention straight and Jason Belmonte in the same sentence, because he usually doesn't go very straight.
Spare Turkey working 5th frame. Circles around the 10 and gets it. 4-bagger.
There you see that fairly direct line for a guy with a rev rate of over 600 RPMs. But you know what? He can also bring it at about 21 miles an hour. It's a lethal combination. Big shot here for Ryan. Goes light. Back-to-back shots on the right lane, and that shot looked pretty good. I think Ryan liked that.
Not bad.
This time, he really pays the price. You take a look at his arsenal. Ruckus Feud going with a very strong piece of equipment. .379, tough to convert with any hand.
Open frame, 88 open, and now a big lead for Belmonte. Ryan Simonelli's going to have to dig deep in the final 4 frames. He can still shoot .238. That's the way to start it. 42-pin lead for Jason Belmonte. Belmonte first shot out of the 5-hole, trying to make his way up the stepladder. Ryan Simonelli is going to have to throw strikes. We'll see who advances when we return to Brunswick's own Carolier. The USBC Masters is brought to you by USBC, the national governing body servicing the needs of bowling. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. By hotelplanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms. Best rooms, best rate, guaranteed. And by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Spare four-bagger. Belmonte with a 42-pin lead. He's never been the number 5 seed. He's off to a good start here against Ryan Simonelli.
Let's break down Jason Belmonte's style and show you why he's able to do what he does. Obviously, the revs are created because he's not using his thumb. There's the cupped wrist and elbow. But the speed is created by the slingshot effect as his body leans forward. The arm goes backward. It's like a rubber band getting stretched, and all of a sudden he just lets that thing wail. That's how he creates the ball speed.
Jason Belmonte said he's never been the 5th seed. If I can get through the first match, I have a good chance to run the ladder. Well, halfway home through the opening match, and he has a good chance to get through Ryan Simonelli. But first, the matter of the opening match. Spare four-bagger. Belmonte, right lane. Big lead, trying to extend it. That's wide, and it gets the 2-pin.
Well, it never hurts to be lucky.
Looked like the first ball in the 10th yesterday. Ball was a little...
Oh, no, that was much lighter. That was a trip 2-pin. He hit the 1-3 in that, got in that swish zone yesterday, first ball. Just take a look at the USBC Masters format. 468 bowlers started this event. If you and I would have bowled, it would have been 470. Top 64 made it to match play, and it was 3-game matches and double eliminations. You see Jason Belmonte's road. He did lose to Tom Smallwood, went down into the losers bracket, and then beat Himmler and John Janowitz to make the show.
Strike for Belmonte as the defending champion. He did not have to qualify, but he did, and he qualified first, taking the extra prize to lead qualifying and earning the number 1 seed all the way through the double elimination match play. .238 left for Ryan Simonelli. He did strike in the 6th. His best finish 3rd in the Masters back in 2010. Slaps the 7 out.
Well, Ryan Simonelli did have choice of starting lane. He chose to have Jason Belmonte start the match, which meant that Belmonte would finish the 10th frame on the right lane. Simonelli would finish the 10th frame on the left lane. And I'm guessing it's because of the fact that he left the 3-7-9 split in the 5th. He went light in the 3rd. That's his first strike on that right lane.
So Simonelli does what he can to pile up pins. Angelo and Janet Simonelli, Ryan Simonelli's parents, they were here all week. We see great family support from the Simonellis. And Chelsea, Ryan Simonelli's fiance, also on hand. Chelsea Larson, soon to become Chelsea Simonelli. Now, Belmonte on a 6-pack, 8th frame, in cruise control. And Cruz just hit a bump, 2-4-10.
That looked just overly aggressive to me.
Terrible shot.
Really fast, really straight, not a lot of hand at the bottom, if that makes any sense, but this ball just never hooks as it comes off the end of the pattern. He was in cruise control. He was in the 240. Simonelli can still shoot 238. If Jason Belmonte doesn't convert here, Jason will be down into the 230s. You might have a whole new ball game here, friend. How about you?
2-4-10 conversion. Strikes and spares for Belmonte.
Strikes, split conversions. This kid's got it all.
This is your hammer, tough, spare, replay. 2-4 into the 10. Strike ball working, split conversion ball working. 39-pin lead, foundation frame. Tom Smallwood waits for the winner.
Look out.
Double trouble. 3-6, 9-10 with the 4-7.
Boy, he had that one really going straight up the lane. That left lane hooks a little bit more than the right lane down lane. And this is 4 through the middle.
Okay. Interesting.
Right through the face, and he gets 4. 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. He's going to have to get the ball right in here.
I'm glad you're confident.
Throw this 3-pin over into the 4-7, and then the ball will take out the rest. Very difficult because you have to cover that back pin, the 9-pin, and you have to throw a hook at this in order to do so.
Oh my!
Are you serious?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on.
Cavalier has risen and double trouble has fallen.
Listen, you don't know how close he was to losing this match with just this shot right here. If this ball goes in the gutter and he gets no pins, he loses no matter what he does in the 10th frame if Simonelli strikes out. Now he's still in the 240s. Simonelli, best he can do is 238. Back-to-back massive split conversions for the player of the year, Jason Belmonte.
3-7 split.
Well, any glimmer of hope was shattered by these split conversions by Belmonte, and now Simonelli's got no chance.
How about it? Splits are cheap and easy here.
Wow, these two are putting on a clinic of how to strike and how to make splits. Take a look at this. Throws it off the back wall, comes out of the pit, just tickles the 7. And he's like, hey, what about me? Where's the love?
That counts as a tipple and a tickle. Both work. 10th frame. Simonelli can throw 3 strikes for 216. Important, Randy, because fill him up and see what happens.
Well, the best he can shoot is 216. If Belmonte were to go 4 through the middle again, he would need to go 4 and then throw it in the gutter to basically lose. I don't see that happening. The thing right now that's important for Jason Belmonte is to get lined up once again for his upcoming match. I mean, he's got a tough cookie coming up in a guy by the name of, you may have heard of him, Tom Smallwood. I mean, it's not called the Bulldog for nothing. So Belmonte right now, his only interest is making good shots on the right lane and getting lined up again.
214 for Ryan Simonelli.
Great game.
Another televised appearance in a major championship. 2010 and 2014 here at the Masters.
Well, unless he converts the 4-9, he doesn't get another shot on this lane. After starting with 9 spare and then 6 consecutive strikes, it's 3 splits in a row for Belmonte. Pretty good try. He's human.
He missed a split. 227. 214 finale. When we return to Brunswick Zone Cavalier, we will take a look back at perfection in Masters history. Belmonte advances over Simonelli. Tom Smallwood coming up in our next match. USBC Masters. USBC Masters rolls on at Brunswick Zone, Carolier in North Brunswick, New Jersey. Next Sunday, PBA League competition heats up as Chris Barnes and the Atom Splitters are on the lanes against Norm Duke and the Strikers in the quarterfinals. Silver Lake versus Dallas next Sunday at 3 on ESPN. Time for the Ebonite flashback and a look at perfection at the Masters. I called this one with Earl Anthony back in 1997, eventual champion Jason Queen.
This was the first one by an amateur. This was in Huntsville, Alabama, when Queen shot 300 in the semifinal match against Bobby Fleetwood. And like you said, Mike J., he went on to win the title, defeating Eric Forkel. Then the second one, well, we saw arguably one of the greatest left-handers to ever live, Parker Bone III. He did it in the opening match of the 1998 Masters at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. Bone advanced to the title match, but unfortunately he lost to Mike Albee. But you know what? If you're going to lose to somebody, Mike Albee's not a bad guy to lose to, seeing how he won 3 Masters titles.
Six-bagger powers Jason Belmonte to a 227-214 win and moves him up the ladder to face the number 3 seed, Tom Smallwood. even though Belmonte won over Simonelli. Plenty of concerns on his way up the stepladder.
I'm worried about the further left that I go. On the left lane, my ball speed's still quite firm. So we'll get a read off the... Just hope that
Remember, if not, if you don't
pair is
want
ready.
so much, you still have the one without a hole. The other one is straight up and down. When you have two that you can shut it down a little bit.
Yeah, I do. You're right.
Tom Smallwood will take on Jason Belmonte in our next match. Winner advances to the semifinal. When we return, PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia, record breaker, in the booth. The second major of the 2014 PBA Tour season rolls on at the United States Bowling Congress Masters. Full house at Brunswick Zone, Carroll Air. And hello again, Mike Jakubowski with two Hall of Famers, record breaker Johnny Petraglia and Randy Peterson. And John, you competed here, and not only did you compete, but you made match play and made some noise here.
Oh, this was really great this week, Mike. I had a ball. So many people texted me that were watching me on Extra Frame. My son and all his friends in Las Vegas and across the country. It was just a great week, and the support I got from the crowd here, from everybody that came to watch. It was just a wonderful week. I just ran out of gas.
Johnny, you know, this isn't the first time you and I have been in the booth together. So once again, Petraglia and Peterson ride again.
We ride again.
Now, my question for you is simple. You know a lot about Tom Smallwood. He's coming up to face the hottest player on the planet in Jason Belmonte. But you know Tom as well as anyone. What do you see moving forward in this next match?
I think that Tom has a really good chance if he can conquer the right lane. When I was watching Jason in that first match, he sprayed it a little bit at the break point on the left-hand lane, and yet still got it to the pocket. The right-hand lane was a lot tougher. So it's going to play tough for Tom. I think Jason is figuring out that right lane, and Tom's going to have to get it early to be a factor here. But once he gets lined up, he strikes as much as anybody.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny. And this Columbia fun fact: over the 15 games of qualifying, in the Masters. The 201 PBA members out-averaged the 267 amateurs by a little more than 9 pins per game. Pros 199, amateurs 190. About a marked difference.
You know, the one thing that I saw in watching match play with Tom Smallwood, and especially the 4-player shootout to try to get the last 3 spots in the show, was when Belmonte's ball was overreacting. As you can see, he's making a ball change here to start this match. Right. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, concerned about the left lane, concerned about the right lane. You know, he's very unsure about his ball reaction. But when I saw this exact thing happen in the 4-player shootout, when Belmonte was going through the nose, and Dom Barrett was struggling to get his ball to the pocket, the one right-hander who seemed to basically tame the oil pattern was Tom Smallwood.
Yeah, you're right. That was a bad break that Jason just got. Tom went to a ball that got used up sooner, so it was a little softer in the back. If you watch, he got a little bit deeper, and he got that great ball reaction, and they killed him in that final 4. We'll see if he's going to do that today. He's starting with a beatdown, which is pretty aggressive. We'll see what happens.
2-time winner on the PBA Tour, including a major, and another Hall of Famer in attendance. That's Mark Roth. Great to see Mark out here.
Yeah, he looks real good. He looks better than the last time.
Smallwood, light, shakes everything but the 2. Fair for Smallwood. Randy talked to him yesterday. He said, I'm going to find out real quick where I can play.
Yeah, and what he was talking about was in warm-ups where all the players were, while all the players were warming up, where Belmonte was going to be playing, where Haugen was going to be playing, and what looked the best and what best suited him. He also said that going straight this week never looked good for him.
This one thing I got to say this week, though, is I guess we should watch Tom throw the ball first, too.
Second frame, Smallwood on the spare.
There's that softer look. Right. Now, one thing I'd like to give a little kudos to the USBC, because this is the 2nd year in a row, 210 average to make the top 64, 206 average to get a check, and all games played, as by evidence of the show.
I agree.
A lefty, you got Haugen going right at him, Walter Ray and Doug Kent piped 5 all week while the other guys will weigh in. So that's a really good job.
I think it's a great job. It allowed all the players in all styles to play.
Belmonte strike in the 2nd.
All right, so let's listen in and see what Jason had to say about the left lane. Or excuse me, what he did on the left lane. Remember that 4 through the middle. This is the first shot to start this match with a different ball.
So Belmo back on the left lane now, split there in the 1st.
And back to the original bowling ball.
Finds the line and the pocket, and a strike for Belmonte.
Johnny, we talk a lot about Jason Belmonte and the fact that he's got the strongest, most powerful ball on tour. His pocket's bigger than anybody's. His carry percentage is higher than anybody's. And when this guy is firing on all cylinders, there's only 2 things that can beat him: a 1-game match and an act of God. What's your take on that?
Well, I think that what people don't realize about Belmo is when Belmo knows he has room and has to just get it to a certain break point, he can do it. And he doesn't worry too much about accuracy. When he has to be accurate, he can be. And he's really developed into a tremendous bowler. I remember the shot by Tom. I remember 5 years ago watching him and Oscar, and personally I thought Oscar was a little better than him when they first came to America, and what Jason has developed into is just phenomenal. Something like 11 majors in a row in the top 10.
You said it, throwing a mastermind, strongest ball in his arsenal that he he has down with him today. And talked about that real soft reaction off the back end of the pattern. Watch this.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, see, it's a ball that gets the start up just a shade sooner and just loses that shade of energy in the back to not over snap through the nose. And because Tommy doesn't throw it that hard, it eliminates that snap berm in the back end. Good shot for a solid 10. Right. Fair break.
Smallwood with a lead of 11 pins through 4 frames.
A little different, unique role for Smallwood.
Yeah.
We'll talk about here in a minute.
Randy, Jason Belmonte says, I strip down my game to the bare fundamentals, and I execute those fundamentals better than anyone.
Well, I'm not going to argue with him. Reigning player of the year. Guy's been a world beater in majors last 8 of 9 shows.
Oh, solid 9.
And that's the one thing that you don't see a lot, even though you think he should leave more stone 9s like that. And I think that it's because he's so good at figuring out the right ball to throw so that he doesn't do that. Because think about it, John. I mean, you and I, about average power, you and I leave that on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
He doesn't.
You're 100% right. It's amazing how many we leave now.
Right.
And him getting it to the right spot with the right bowling ball has a lot to do with it.
I mean, he's got twice as much power, and he leaves them half as many times as we do. Maybe less than that.
Well, when you get things going this good, Randy, I think it's your confidence level gets so high that you just feel like the pocket's right in front of your face, and you're not going to miss it. You can almost pick what part of the pocket you want to hit.
468 player field. The field average was 194. As we mentioned, the average of cash 205 and 210 to make match play. The leading qualifier was the defending champion, Jason Belmonte, at 232.13. That's 15 games. Also 12 women in the field, including Kelly Kulick, the PBA Tournament of Champions winner. 15 countries represented at this year's Masters. Here frame. And Belmo with a strike.
I think these are important shots for Tommy right now. He's got a little bit of a lead, but Belmo's gotten lined up again. And like I said, this left lane is really important for him. He's made a good shot the last time. If he keeps making them, I think he's in good shape because he's pretty locked in on the left lane.
Smallwood with a strike. He leads by 12 pins halfway home. The winner of this match gets the number 2 seed. Michael Haugen Jr. Here's Tom Smallwood's road to the finals, defeating Josh Blanchard, Scott Norton, Matt O'Grady, Jason Belmonte before losing to E.J. Tackett and then winning the elimination final, the 4-player shootout with a 738.
That pair that he bowled E.J. Tackett on really played tough. That was a tough pair for the both of them, and E.J. outlasted him.
Smallwood can increase his lead here, 6th frame. High, 6-10.
Well, he missed a good lane.
Come on. Well, he avoided a big split, too, and I think it's probably because of that softer back-end reaction, the way he's playing this oil pattern. You can see just how deep Tom Smallwood is, and it's only game 2. He's throwing that ball right around the 25th board at the arrows.
Oh, mental error. Open frame. Evens the match.
Good time for a break. Nice shot. Yeah. Dang it.
So Tom Smallwood even things up by missing a spare, and Jason Belmonte will have a chance to double up. More action coming from the USBC Masters. Second match of the day at the United States Bowling Congress Masters, second major of the 2014 PBA Tour season continues. Tonight on ESPN, one of the surprise teams of the NBA look to continue their entertaining run as Goran Dragic and the Suns host Dwight Howard and the Rockets. NBA Sunday presented by State Farm. Houston versus Phoenix tonight at 9 on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. Smallwood with a big open frame, Randy, previous.
Yeah, and, you know, this was just a lack of concentration, Johnny. He steps up, and Smallwood's a good spare shooter.
And Smallwood getting used to pressure.
Good time for a break. I love the pressure. I feel I bowl better under pressure. But still, I'm just as nervous as anyone on earth. You know, my hand's shaking and my knees are, I can't feel my legs. So fortunate I've had enough time to come through a few times and you know, come through the wins and get through some matches that way.
Johnny, pressure had nothing to do with Tom Smallwood missing that spare.
Right, it was just a lack of focus. He's good under pressure. I mean, that's where all the fun is, with the pressure.
Exactly right.
Yeah. But spares are everything. Jason won the last match because he made the 2 splits, not because of the 6-bagger.
Exactly.
So now Belmonte up in the 6th frame can take advantage of the miscue by Smallwood by doubling up. 6th frame, winner gets Haugen. Light, mixer, strike.
Johnny, do you think Jason Belmonte is completely comfortable as we take a look at your friend and my friend and one of the greatest of all time, PBA Hall of Famer Mark Roth? It's so good to have him with us. But do you think Belmonte is totally comfortable, totally committed to this new lineup that he's using?
I think that's exactly it, and he's got to be in such a comfort zone right now. Good things keep happening. You're sitting on the bench and you're down 12 pins, and all of a sudden it's an even game, and it just makes it so much better to get up. Things are still going good.
Johnny Petraglia joins us, finished 17 to 24th for a tie here at the Masters this week. Belmo on the double. And almost a 7-10, just a 7 remains.
And have you ever seen messengers that fast?
And he lost the ball at the bottom a little. It doesn't seem to matter. You just, you know, you see like that little short, and it does. He's just throwing them everywhere. But this is Tommy's chance now, because this is when you pump up and you get up and you're thinking, if I get a double, I take a 1-pin lead here. I'm back in the match.
Spare for Belmonte. He has a 9-pin lead.
Well, Belmonte leaves a solid 9 in the 4th, and then that massive ripper 7-pin right there in the 7th frame. Otherwise, he takes a commanding lead without the miss in the 6th by Smallwood. Smallwood's still winning this match.
Right, but this is where you have to think, even though it's this early in the game. If we both go off the sheet, I win.
Right.
And so I'm controlling my own destiny right now.
Both players can take it off the sheet. Smallwood would shoot 237. Belmonte would shoot 236.
Oh, bucket.
That was
the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 8.
Now that ball looks like it wiggles as it goes down the lane.
It sounded like it hit the holes that time.
Yeah, you can almost hear it. That ball, it sounded like it was ticking either the thumb or the finger holes, and that kept it from hooking up into the pocket.
Right.
Leaves the bucket.
Well, making this is like a double. That's for sure.
Oh, God. Nice spare. Train wreck.
Let's take a listen and see if we can hear his bowling ball as it rolls down the lane. It was early.
Yeah, he caught the hole early.
Yeah, he caught it early and shot it right.
The reaction, yep.
But the bottom line is the 2 missed spares.
Exactly. If he makes both spares, he's still in good shape.
Back-to-back missed spares. And right now it's a 21-pin deficit.
Flat 10.
That's a given. That's a given. Miss, miss, miss.
And one of the things that Tom talked to us about, Johnny, was he had to stay long with his follow-through. Take a look and tell me what you see here.
Yeah, he's cutting it a little bit short. That elbow's below the shoulder line. So, and Tom is usually higher than that at the completion of his follow-through.
Bonus.
Well, he converted the 10-pin. He can still take it off the sheet for 205. Belmonte right now is at 206. I'm not thoroughly convinced that Belmonte's completely lined up.
I'm not either. He could probably be thinking about the 4 count.
Whoa, that's high, 6 pins.
That was a break.
He's got to find a way to get his ball to come off the end of the pattern like Smallwood's ball was coming off the end of the pattern. Something that rolls earlier and that will come off the end of the oil pattern smoother. That shot there, when you look at his form, looks like he's standing up on it. We haven't seen Jason Belmonte stand up on it in 3 years.
That's a really good observation, Randy. Yeah, he usually just stays with it, and he's sort of reared at the line of shade there.
I don't think he's 100% convinced that he's playing the lanes the right way with the right ball. And right now he's holding on by virtue of the 2 missed spares by Smallwood.
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure how Mike Haugen's going to bowl, but whoever wins this match, should they get by Haugen, they're going to have to figure something out. Otherwise, I think EJ is going to run over him as good as he looked in practice.
Foundation frame, Jason Belmonte, 20 pins up. Trying to move along the stepladder. That's light, double wood.
Highlight, 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 Johnny.
Highlight.
I think he's in the right zone. I think it's the wrong ball.
I agree with you, and a big break there that it was the 10-pin went down, because even Jason doesn't make that one. So that, but it does put Tommy back in the game.
You see how that ball wiggled as well? I mean, it got to the spot and then it just kept going. It didn't come off the spot. I think he needs to throw something stronger, something that rolls sooner. He's in the right zone. Maybe he can move in just a little bit more off of that, but something that's guaranteed to bite the lane.
Well, when you're on this 2-to-1 ratio, that the middle of the lane gets so flat so quickly that just the slightest variation in your game is really going to take the ball off. And that's what has happened all week. You would see people lined up and then all of a sudden start to lose it as the middle of the lane dried on you and you had to move deeper and you got that funny reaction.
Foundation frame for Tom Smallwood. He can go 4 strikes for 205. And that would force a double out of Belmonte in the 10th frame. So this match far from over. Who will forget his great victory at the PBA World Championship in 2009 over Wes Malott. Needs to start striking. 9th frame.
That was better.
High.
But he trips the 4th real late. Hard to believe he's still in this game.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? The back-to-back open frames like that, going against a guy like Belmonte, it's just hard to believe he's still in this. Remember that he has 2 opens. Belmonte opened in the 1st frame. That's why Smallwood still has a chance. I think if he strikes out in the 10th frame, he wins.
I think, well, first of all, he's got to get that first one. The thing you got to be thinking right now is no freebies. He's got to do something to beat me. I got to get that first one, at least force him to mark.
Take a mental reset. Monumental shot for
He
Smallwood.
dropped something over here.
Something distracted him in the crowd. Somebody dropped something.
Looking to add a 2nd major to his resume.
This
2
is where
PBA Tour titles.
Sorry, Mike. This is where you really dig in. This is where you have to say, it's the most important shot of my life, and I'm good enough to handle it. This is what you
live for.
This is what you live for.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's wide. 245 with the 7.
With a spare, he'll only
Good
be
shot.
in the 180s. Jason Belmonte just needs good count.
Nice game.
And again, you got to go back to the 2 missed spares,
Yeah.
because ultimately that's what's going to end up costing him. But you're right, that scenario, that situation, John, you know it, I know it. That's what you live for. 3 miss.
3 miss space. Yeah, that's right, Randy. It's what it's all about. When you get up and you need that strike to win or to keep yourself in the game, what enters your head is 1 in a million people ever get to feel like this. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
I mean, pressure is what makes it fun in sports. I mean, without pressure, then it wouldn't be worth anything.
You could just practice every day.
Exactly.
Belmonte with a quick chat with another Hall of Famer, Del Ballard, on his options here in the 10th frame now that he has this match in hand.
He's going to a stronger ball.
That might work. He gets deep enough and enough angle to get it wide, but it won't nick the OB boards and make a move.
And it'll still be a little bit softer off the end of the pattern.
I think this next game that I'm going to go sit and watch is going to be interesting because Haugen will be playing them completely differently. Yeah. And it should be fun.
Here comes, I think, a little micro adjustment to the left.
Yeah, slid on about 41.
No, not what you wanted to see if you're Jason Belmonte, right?
That's right.
Now what? Now what do you do, John? First ball goes flush, he moves left, it hooks more. Now what do you do?
Try it.
Well,
you got to go to another ball.
He's going to it right now. He's got a ball going to a ball that certainly goes straighter than the one he just threw.
The middle part of the lane looks caved in. That may bode very well for the next player coming up to bat.
Well, he's certainly going to play him differently. Throws it. He's going to go straight. He's going to throw it harder if he has to.
Right.
Belmo opts for the strike line in the final shot. 202, 173 winner. He advances up the step ladder. Michael Haugen Jr. is next. Johnny Petraglia, Hall of Famer, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you out on the PBA 50 Tour.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Randy. It was great being here.
Masters when we return. The USBC Masters is brought to you by Barbasol. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. By Storm. Bowlers serving bowlers. Storm is the bowlers company. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Motive Bowling, high-performance equipment with a fresh perspective. Get motivated. Stay logged on to PBA.com for all the latest PBA news, tournament results, player updates, and fan promotions. Right now, the PBA is teaming with Barbasol to allow fans to post a pose of their own strike celebrations for a chance to win some great prizes from the PBA and Barbasol. Head to PBA.com and click on the Strike a Pose link and learn more. It's a Barbasol close shave of the day for Jason Belmonte. 2-4-10 conversion. And double trouble falls.
Yeah, left it back-to-back in the 8th and 9th frame, and it's basically what saved the game for him.
Mike and Randy back at you live here at Brunswick Zone Carolier. Jason Belmonte said it, if I can get through that first match, I have a good chance to run the step ladder. But lane conditions and Mike Haugen stand in the way.
His ball reaction does not look good, and Michael Haugen Jr., his next opponent, is the only player on this telecast that throws the ball down and in. He doesn't have the big high rev rate, the big power ball. He has no business, no frills, straight at him. If Michael Haugen Jr. finds a home for that shot, he's going to win this title. E.J. Tackett, your #1 seed, he hooks the ball almost as much as Belmonte. The middle part of the lane looks like it's caved in. If straighter is greater and it works, Michael Haugen could just win this tournament.
Jason Belmonte threw 3 different shots in the 10th. Which option do you go with?
I'm not sure because, you know, he struck on the first shot in the 10th frame. Then he moved in a little bit with the same ball and went high. That's never a good sign if you're right-handed and you have power. He tried another ball. Who knows? I'm not sure he even knows.
Come on back. Semifinal action. We'll find out. Haugen or one of 3 Belmonte options when we return. USBC Masters is live. getting set for a semifinal tilt between Haugen and Belmonte here at Brunswick Zone Carolier. Kimberly Pressler is with number 2 seed Mike Haugen.
Thanks, Mike. So, Michael, a lot of the guys that are hooking the ball seem to have some issues out on the lanes, but out of everyone, you throw the straightest. How is that playing into your confidence?
I don't worry about the other guys do, and the whole week they didn't seem to have any issues at all. So whatever's going on TV pair, if it's going to be better for the hook, then it's better for the hook, and if it's better for the straight, it's better for the straight. My job is to knock 10 pins down. I don't really care what Jason does. He's none of my business. You know, my job is to knock 10 pins down.
Well, it's no secret that you've had some injuries, and do you feel like some people have counted you out of this?
I'm sure they have, but, I mean, clearly here I am. So I'm back, and I'm healthy, and, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a young 47.
All right, good luck to you, Michael. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kimberly. A young 47, Michael Haugen Jr. gets Belmonte after Belmonte takes out Smallwood 202-173 and Simonelli 227-214. The higher seed, Michael Haugen Jr., has indicated that Jason Belmonte will begin the match on the left lane.
Yeah, Jason Belmonte immediately going to a different bowling ball for this match. Scores are a lot lower than I thought they would be, MJ.
Pats the pocket, strike for Belmonte on that left lane. You heard him in the interview with Kimberly. Michael Haugen Jr., second seed. He says, quote, just tell me I can't do something and I'll find a way to do it, unquote. 17-year player, 3 tour titles, looking for his second major. And that's a great way to start. Haugen. Haugen's road to the finals. Beat the number 2 player, Cameron Weir, 670-572, then took out Joey Pants, Joe Paluzek, Stuart Williams, 2-time Masters winner Doug Kent, Ryan Simonelli, before losing to E.J. Tackett in the winner's bracket 3-game total pins match, which earned him the number 2 seed. Strike apiece, second frame, it's the Masters semifinal. Direct line and a strike.
You tell the straight guy to hold. Come on now.
Uh-oh.
You know I got the hold. Come on now.
And we talked to him yesterday. He said if I can shim it, meaning if he has a little bit of hold playing that line, he's going to find a home. And early on, unless he made 2 absolutely perfect shots, that down and in looks pretty good.
Belmonte continues to run the step ladder. He's got a strike. Needs to keep pace here with Haugen's second frame. Belmonte solid, half double.
All right, let's take a look at the 2 completely different ways to attack this oil pattern. The Michael Haugen Jr. version, which is right up the 9th board, that's pretty down and in. And here's the opposite end of the spectrum, Jason Belmonte, and the last shot he just threw, that went over the 27th or 28th board. Belmonte a good 4 arrows left of Michael Haugen Jr., but I think that's also the beauty of this USBC oil pattern. It allowed all styles to play.
2 of those styles on display right here. The two-handed sensation, Jason Belmonte, and tour veteran, Michael Haugen Jr. 2 strikes apiece, third frame. All strikes.
Wow. Talk about a change of equipment and change line. He moved farther left, and now he's just bringing the thunder.
Randy, last time Haugen stepped up, he said he's got to shim it out. Can you be more specific?
Well, I said that, and what I mean by that is that he looks at the fact that if he can shim up against it, meaning if he has hold, that's kind of his shim. If he pulls it, the ball lays there, that's a good thing.
And the 4-pin stand. Spinner no go.
That didn't do what he was talking about in terms of if he has a little shim there. Mike, we also used to use shims in the old oiling machines to actually apply more pressure to the buffing wheel to put more oil on the lane.
And so that's kind of that reference.
Also referred to as the shim of love by the players. Haugen cleans up the spare. He says determination, hard work, talent, and guts can beat raw talent.
Get up, get up.
You know, the question for Michael Haugen Jr. is when he pulls the ball left, is it going to hold line? He's not going to miss that far to the right. Belmonte, because he throws it with so much power, has to miss right. Haugen throws it straight. His miss is in, not out. I think this is a telling shot right here. I think if Belmo laces the 1-3 pocket, I think it's game on.
Turkey working, fourth frame. Wow, he's just packed 4 shots. He was lost and now he's found.
Hey, Mike, game on.
Game on indeed. And Belmonte game face, and struggling toward the end of the last match, but coming out strong here in the semifinal. No doubt strikes 4 times. E.J. Tackett, the tournament leader, awaits in the title match. Fifth frame, Belmonte on the front 4. And he drills it again, top 5.
He found it. And, you know, the question is, how long does it last for? Once he gets that deep, the next move is farther left, and then he goes to the air. He starts lofting the left gutter cap. That's when it gets really fun.
Haugen finds the pocket. Michael Haugen, part of one of the most memorable wins in Tournament of Champions history for his only major title.
Come on, baby, come on.
Yeah, he was buried. He was like 60-something pins down after 5 frames. And Barnes let him back in. He threw like the last 6 shots or 6 strikes in a row. Barnes needs the first hit in the 10th. And he leaves a 4-pin. And Michael Haugen Jr. wins sitting on the bench for his first ever major.
Thank you, Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you. That's why you never give up. You never give up.
Mike well aware of that fact, and adding a second major to his resume. He says it would be unbelievable to be put in Hall of Fame consideration.
Get up and hit again.
Light, and the 10-pin stands.
Just missed it at the ball.
Michael Haugen Jr. using 16 pounds. Belmonte using 15. He was hoping for that messenger to come over and take the 10 out, not to be.
Pickup for Haugen and a spare, but he trails by 22. Can Belmo keep striking? Find out when we return to the semifinal at the Masters. Next Sunday on ESPN, the Silver Lake Atom Splitters take on the Dallas Strikers in singles, doubles, trios, and team action. 3 p.m. Eastern next Sunday, PBA League on ESPN. Also watch live on Watch ESPN. Middle of our semifinal finds Jason Belmonte with 5 strikes in a row and a 22-pin lead over Michael Haugen Jr. E.J. Tackett awaits in the championship match. Belmo has never come out of the 5th seed, and he has won his first 2 matches, and he's got a lead in the 3rd. Never being a 5 seed here in a 5-player stepladder, and now advancing in the 6th. And a 10-pin.
Pin's quick.
You heard him say it, just a little fast, and that's a lot better than the mistakes that he had early on in the first 2 matches where he would go light, leaving 2, 4, 10 combinations, or through the nose getting 4. This is just a 10-pin. Routine, right?
Labeled. Spare for Belmonte.
Well, let's take a look at what Jason Belmonte did in the second match, throwing this certain bowling ball here and just not matching up well. In this match, he made a change, went to a bowling ball that rolls a little bit earlier and smoother off the back of the pattern. He moves farther left, and he's getting it for all it's worth at the bottom of the swing right now. He's not holding back.
Belmonte with 8 career PBA Tour titles, looking for his 9th here today. 7th frame.
Oh. Very happy with that. Oh. Very happy with that.
He got extremely slow with that shot and got it way right. That's the only reason it got back to the head pin. Just got to get it synced up again. He's got to find the rhythm, get synced up. First shot on the right lane too fast. That one way too slow.
Stay low.
He's a little in and out right now, but the good news is he's got a 20-pin lead. Haugen's bowled a really strong game. He went 4-pin in the 3rd. He went flat 10 in the 6th, but he's hit the pocket on every shot. Dangerous guy to be bowling at this juncture, because if he gets dialed in and he finds that high hard one to the 1-3 pocket, this guy may never stop striking.
Last title for Haugen at the Mark Roth Classic, and there's Mark looking on today.
Oh, bad.
That's way high. Nose hit, 610.
What are you doing?
Missed opportunity, I think, for Michael Haugen Jr. because he's trailing. He can't afford not to hit the pocket. He's got to throw strikes and keep the pressure on. Wasn't able to do it with this shot here on the right lane. So we take a look at Michael Haugen Jr.'s arsenal. He's throwing an Antics. A little bit weaker ball, but that helps him to stay in that area just right of the track area, the more worn part of the lane on the right side, which would start right around second arrow on the right side of the lane.
Come on, one time.
And a flat 10.
No, he needs more than one time. He needs a bunch of times. He's still trailing in this match, and when he hits the pocket and leaves a flat 10, that's not a good sign. But with everything that we've seen from Belmonte today, I don't think any score is safe until the game is over. We've seen Belmonte split so many times today. God, if you're Michael Haugen Jr., you're thinking, man, a spare here and maybe another double. You never know.
That's why we throw spare balls.
Yeah.
Belmonte with a late smack on the back row and a strike in the 8th.
Really good shot.
Do I have any more?
Looking for a re-rack here as you see just how he walks around that ball return and then trips the 9 late. He's out of re-racks. The players only get 2 re-racks a game.
Foundation frame for Belmonte. Semifinal match, looking to advance to another title in a PBA major. 9th frame. 4th pin.
He's going to take the air in the next match if he gets to the title match. He's running out of lane on this left lane. Watch how deep. Watch how deep this shot is. Lay down just inside the 6th arrow on the left side of the lane, and he's almost out of room. He looks out of sorts to me. His follow-through is going left and right. He just doesn't look comfortable, and he's bowling 230. His rhythm looks a little bit off. He looks like he's starting slow and then getting fast. It just doesn't look like the same old Jason Belmonte when he's really dialed in. Now, Mike Haugen Jr. can still strike out to shoot 235. The problem is Belmonte is at 238 right now.
Wearing his Brooklyn Styles PBA League jersey today, I know it meant a lot to Mike to be named to that team. 9th frame. That's a much better shot and result for Haugen.
He's looking back at the 8th frame going, man, if I could have only carried that weak 10, if I'd have thrown a better shot in the 7th. And he's still in this. Shot of the week coming up.
There's Mike Haugen's girlfriend, always providing support. 10th frame, big shot. Gets the strike, cuts the lead to 13. More importantly, he can force Belmonte to do work in the 10th.
I think Belmonte's pretty comfortable on the right lane. He's going to take a re-rack and let Belmonte sit for a bit, which I think is a great move. Belmonte looks pretty comfortable on that right lane. He's only missed once on it, and it was a 10 pin in the 6th.
USBC Masters Trophy will be awarded in the championship match coming up next. But first, slaps out the 10. Good shot.
That may have been the biggest shot of the week right there. I mean, I get it. He had to have the first one, but without this one, there really isn't any hope. Now he needs all 10 here on his fill shot to force Jason Belmonte to mark with good count. 9 spare 9. Belmonte would win by 1 if Michael Haugen Jr. strikes on this ball.
Sorry.
Now all he needs is 9 spare 8. Or 8 spare 9. I think that's a little bit more comfortable. You know what I mean? With the difficulty of what we've seen today in the somewhat erratic behavior of Belmonte's bowling ball.
To advance.
Look out.
Crossing over. And that's the
Nice.
8 count
Oh.
on the 5-9.
Completely out of sorts. He is completely out of rhythm and timing right now. Now, how big is Michael Haugen Jr.'s 9 on the fill shot? Belmonte still has a chance to win.
Spare 9 for the victory.
Oh, my God.
Catches it on the outside, converts the spare.
I thought he missed it by an arrow to the left. He needs to somehow find a way to pry one off, because right now Jason Belmonte is not making good shots for the first. I've never seen this happen to him, especially on television. Maybe a shot here and there. He needs 9 to advance to the title match.
All options are open.
8, we have a tie. Anything less, Michael Haugen Jr. wins sitting on the bench.
When he needs it, 9, 235, 234. Belmo bowls for another major title.
Well, he was somehow able to pry it off and get 9. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Jason Belmonte will bowl E.J. Tackett. Top 2 rev rates in professional bowling live next. p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Moving forward to the Geico Championship rematch, Randy.
Match number 1 was all about making some split conversions, and Belmonte covers a 2-4-10, and then he makes a massive split in the 9th, and those 2 split conversions saved that match against Simonelli. Then in match number 2, Not a lot of striking going on, but when he did strike, he was able to string them together. This was basically a survival match against Tom Smallwood, who missed 3 spares. Belmonte beat Smallwood 202 to 173. And then in our last match that you just saw, Michael Haugen Jr. really apply the pressure. He got up big time in the 10th frame, throwing a double when he needed to. There you see those 2 strikes right there. He gets 9 on his fill shot. Belmonte, he needs 9 to advance, and somehow kept it together to get 9. He wins 235 to 234.
That's your Geico Championship recap. E.J. Tackett, tournament leader, 6-0 in match play this week, is getting set to face Jason Belmonte. And time now for the Track Tech Talk featuring EJ, and the subject, Randy, is power.
Yeah, and he generates power by using his legs and then snapping the wrist and the elbow at the point of release. Again, like I talked about in the open, it's almost like a broad jumper. He uses that, like, see how his leg straightens up there at the foul line? Well, as the leg is straightening up, he lunges upward at the same time he's unleashing his elbow and his wrist, uncupping and making a straight line. That's how he's able to create the speed and the revolutions.
Championship match coming up next in the USBC Masters. 10 frames uninterrupted. Join us next. The second major of the 2014 PBA Tour season, the USBC Masters has reached the championship match at Brunswick Zone Carolier in North Brunswick, New Jersey. Kimberly Pressler is with our tournament leader, the Rookie of the Year. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. EJ, this is your first major. You're the #1 seed. You're going up against the reigning player of the year. And yet you seem unfazed by it all. How is it that you're just staying so cool under all this pressure?
It's just, it's just what you have to do. I'm on a big stage, and I'm just going to go out there and do the best I can and perform the best I can, and hopefully I come out on top.
Is that why you elected to go first today?
I like to go first because of, the way the lanes were playing.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Back to the booth.
21-year-old E.J. Tackett. And here are majors as a first career title. Notable players, Hall of Famer Mike Albee, Hall of Famer Dave Husted, Del Ballard Jr., Doug Kent, and Mika Koivuniemi. Kent and Koivuniemi winning their first career titles in majors right here at the Masters.
Obviously, E.J. Tackett likes the right lane a lot better than the left lane, and he chose to start this match, which means he finishes this match on the right lane. Something that we can watch throughout this match. Belmonte's going to take to the air. That's another thing to watch for. And what I mean by that is he's going to start lofting the ball and getting some airtime to keep the ball from hooking. Exciting championship match at the Masters coming your way right now.
E.J. Tackett, first shot is high, 3-6-10. Hard to believe there aren't a few nerves in there.
Oh, trust me, there is. More than a few.
Talked to him yesterday. He said, my insights didn't feel good the last time I bowled on TV. It may not look like it to you, but I watched, and I could tell. Hard not to have some nerves.
Let me tell you, right now, the insides feel like they want to be on the outside.
And not the easiest spare conversion either. Cross lane at 3-6-10. Beautiful way he turns that ball over to get the rotation to take out the ball with the pins.
Well, there is no rotation. The finger and thumbs almost come out at the same. The fingers and thumb almost come out at the same time. There's little or no rotation on that shot, and if there is, it's straight end over end. The ball's not curving anywhere.
Tackett trying to add his name to that list, his first titles as a major. Belmonte trying to repeat for the first time in a generation as Masters champion. Opening shot for Belmo, title match. And a 10-pin.
Now watch this. This ball is going to get launched at about 11 feet out onto the lane, trying to delay hook. Ball can't curve if it's in the air, and that's what he's counting on. Although that shot there didn't curve enough and get up to the pocket. He goes light, luckily tripping out the 2-8.
Spare for Belmonte, defending champion, winning it right here at Brunswick's own Carolier Randy last year.
Yeah, well, he made some great shots coming down the stretch to put all the pressure on Wes Malott. This is the conclusion to his 10th frame that forced Malott to get up and double in the 10th. Malott got the first one, and then here's the next one he needed to win, and goes through the nose, and the victory was Belmonte's.
Thank you, Storm, the best company in the world.
Winner last year, chance to defend his title, hasn't been done in decades. Belmonte can do it if he wins. Second frame. Packs the pocket. Strike.
Nice shot there by Belmo. Again, we're going to show you the loft here coming right at you. Look at that. Remember, there's no thumb in that bowling ball. He does that with the palm of his hand and his fingers and his left hand at the same time. Think it's easy, folks? Go home and try it after the telecast.
Powerful strike. As we mentioned, one of the highest rev rates in the game for a one-handed player. In fact, at times he can rotate it quicker than Belmonte.
Now, there's a little slingshot effect going on with him, his wrist and his elbow, and he just times it up beautifully, gets his legs underneath him, and then just snaps on it at the bottom of the swing.
Undefeated in match play, taking out Haugen with a 793, which included a foul spare in that set. Saw that live on Extra Frame. Third frame, Tackett back on the left lane. Better shot, doesn't mix out the 4.
That's the one he needed, though. He wanted to see a ball that would actually where he could miss a little bit to the right and have it hook back to the pocket, and it doesn't. Remember the first shot on that lane, he went high. Tremendous amount of leverage at the bottom of the swing. Remember, he's only 5'7", about 135 pounds. The kid's very talented, though. +2 handicap in golf. He's got great hand-eye coordination. He's a good athlete. And he developed quite the style. You're going to see a lot of that young man on this tour.
Defending Masters champ, Bart Basal PBA Tournament of Champions winner, reigning PBA Player of the Year. The accolades keep piling up along with the strikes. Third frame. Slaps the 10 out.
He's making better shots now, too.
Our thanks to the United States Bowling Congress, led by USBC's new interim executive director, Chad Murphy, and the president, Andrew Kane, also manages the Los Angeles X in his spare time. National governing body, join the PBA League, get your average certified, and we'll see you at the National Championships in Reno this year. Belmo on the double, fourth frame. Oh my! Turkey, and he finds it again. Yes, no, yes, back on yes.
For now. I agree. He's back on it for now. He's making better shots. He's a little bit more comfortable with his ball reaction. You know, one of the hardest things to do on this tour is to make good shots when you have a bad ball reaction. Belmo had a bad ball reaction for a while. Now he's got a good one.
Ed Tackett on hand, and EJ said everyone in Huntington is behind him. They could all be here. They would. Light shakes out everything but the two.
Not sure why his ball isn't curving when it gets down lane off the end of the pattern, especially with his rev rate. Looked to me like that shot was just too far to the right. He needs to find a line and find it quick, because the last thing you want to do is let Belmonte get out to a big lead.
And there is Ed Tackett, EJ's father, part of the Great Support Network, and we showed an uncle instead of a father, and for that we apologize. The Tackett family and everyone in Huntington, Indiana, I'm sure, has the volume turned up in every place in town. EJ, fifth frame. Left lane. Oh,
no.
Split. 6, 7, 10.
Not what he was looking for, but that's what happens when you get a couple of shots that go light. The overcompensation takes over. EJ right through the nose, pays the price. 6, 7, 10. This might be a point in the game where you're thinking about making this.
Slides it across with authority, but doesn't get it. Open frame.
Good effort. Now, Belmonte, known for this, when he's got a big lead and he gets an opening from his opponent, he just basically puts the pedal to the metal.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, the fifth seed has never bowled in the title match until now. Pure shot, 10 pinfalls.
Uh-oh. You notice how the ball motion is a little bit different now. It's coming off the end of the pattern much smoother. It's going to go to the air again. Here's the loft. Look how deep he is. And then watch how subtle the movement is at the back part of the lane. This is one of the things he does best. When he can move way in and start lofting the gutter cap, he still gets the bowling ball to hit like it weighs 20 pounds. He is just absolutely tough from in here.
High, almost a 4-9, just the 9 pin.
And a nice break, trip it out the 4. The last thing you want when you have this big of a lead is an open frame.
Belmonte picks up the single pin. He's got a 44-pin advantage. Title match at the USBC Masters. E.J. Tackett has 5 frames to work in this title match. He talks about his footwork, Randy. He says he has a tendency at times to get fast with the footwork.
As do we all.
And so he tries to take a couple of extra seconds and tries not to rush, staying mentally prepared for each shot. 6th frame. Light in the 2 stance.
He got it to that same spot again, and it never hooked. You're talking about his fast feet, Mike. You know, it's one of the ways that he generates ball speed. And you're right. He said that his tendency is to get too fast. As you see, this ball looks pretty good, but it just gets too far right of target. And that spot down lane's not going to hook back. Trying to play right of Jason Belmonte is not something that's always successful. And you know, Tom Smallwood, he played left of Jason Belmonte and actually beat him in match plays. You take a look at EJ's arsenal. He's using a Venom shock. But, you know, Tom Smallwood beat Belmonte in match play because he played left of Belmonte with softer speed. Well, right now, Belmonte is so far left, you can't play left of him. So EJ Tackett's trying to play right of him.
Oh, no.
Oh, gotta be kidding me. On this shot here, EJ looks like he gets his hand more around the side of the bowling ball at release. And there you see it. This ball has more side rotation, so then when it gets to that spot down the lane, it actually hooks off of it. Unfortunately, it's a horrible break, leaving the stone 7.
Spare for Tackett, and Belmonte steps up in the 7th frame with a 45-pin lead, trying to become the first player to defend a Masters title in a generation. Jason Belmonte talking about his place in history.
I have no say in a Hall of Fame career. I can only hope that my performances when I'm, you know, old enough and I'm retired, that, you know, I'm going to have enough on the board to have me as a Hall of Fame career. But it's, you know, it's why I'm here. You know, I'm here because I want to be one of the best of all time, and all the best of all time are in that Hall of Fame.
Another major and a 9th title would go a long way to get there. Light, and the 2-8-10 go down.
When it's your day, it's your day. And Jason Belmonte he's living right. That's good, clean living right there. Tripping out to 2-8-10 and just absolutely collecting in on one of the biggest breaks of his career in a major. He was working on a strike in the 7th frame, and what a time to catch another double to increase the lead by 55 pins with only 2.5 frames left.
Messengers out the 10-pin. Tackett bowling for a title on the PBA Tour, but history may be against him today.
There's that power of E.J. Tackett, just slinging wood. Maybe not quite as fast as Belmonte, but his speed's a little bit softer as well. This kid's got a bright future. I really enjoy watching E.J. Tackett bowl. He is a max score right now if he strikes out of 214. Belmonte's already in the 230s.
Comes out of the youth and collegiate bowling programs. Talented player. Double, fun to watch, fun to talk to. Loves the game.
He'll chalk this up to experience and download it into that computer sitting on top of his shoulders. Next time he comes back onto the telecast, I guarantee it'll be a different ball game. I'm not saying he'll win. I'm just saying he'll be much more prepared.
Going for back-to-back titles, back-to-back majors, the PBA Player of the Year, and the Foundation ninth.
Uh-oh.
The big four.
Hang on a minute.
That lane.
It's not over yet. Not over yet. If he gets 2 here, he'll have 201 in the 9th frame. He would need a mark. Boy, we've seen this all day long. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't make that. All right, he needs a mark, any kind of mark.
Re-rack.
He'll take his time, take a re-rack. Kirk Von Kruger grants it. The PBA Deputy Commissioner and Tournament Director working side by side with Eric Pearson, Tournament Director for the Masters. E.J. Tackett, the best he can shoot is 214. Jason Belmonte will finish first. The magic number is 215. And Belmonte will add to a potential Hall of Fame resume. Defend his Masters title, go back-to-back in the majors, including the Tournament of Champions.
He needs to fill 14 pins in this frame. If he opens, E.J. Tackett can strike out and win. Whoa. That one got a little extra airtime, a little extra hand, and the 10-pin fell extremely late. That was very close. This has been some of the most interesting matches in a major I've ever seen.
Down to a knee. Part of the work is done.
Stay behind the line, brother.
He's got to stay behind the foul line, keep it on the lane, and knock down 4 pins. The man from down under, sporting his usual facial fescue, finds a way to get it done. Check out the airtime on this. This has got a ton of side rotation, cuts through, goes a little bit heavy, only leaving the 4-pin. Yes. Throws the spare ball down the middle, winner.
Bowling fans, you have a repeat USBC Masters champion. His name is Jason Belmonte. If I can just win that first match, I have a chance to run the step ladder.
Thank you. Thank you, Storm. Turbo Dexter. My beautiful family back home. Making it worth it.
Jason Belmonte, back-to-back majors, back-to-back Masters champions. We'll talk to him live next.
The USBC Masters is brought to you by Ebonite. Bowl it forward. By HotelPlanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms, best rate guaranteed. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Radical Bowling Technologies. Wow, that's radical.
Final score 221-177. Belmonte back-to-back majors, back-to-back Masters titles. And a dejected E.J. Tackett, but Belmo telling him, you will win titles someday. The Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year, not his day. Kimberly Pressler is with our champion. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. The day does belong to Jason Belmonte. And Jason, you did something that nobody has done in close to 50 years. You successfully defended your Masters title. You also did what you said you were going to do. You climbed from the 5th seed to win this today. Talk to me about what you're feeling right about now.
Kimberly, honestly, there's not very many words, but I am exhausted. And, you know, this pair of lanes, it never broke down comfortably, and I felt like I was working every frame. You know, I also caught a lot of breaks, and I think that's, you know, part and parcel to winning majors. You need a little bit of lady luck on your side, and I had a whole ton of it.
Is this your toughest win ever?
I'm the most tired I've ever been. I mean, it's only 5 games. I've bowled 40 in a week and felt better than I do right now. I am going to lay down after this for a long time.
Well, congratulations, Jason Belmonte. You have successfully become the USBC Masters champion once again.
Thank you. Everyone back home, I love you.
Coming up next Sunday, Silver Lake Atom Splitters versus the Dallas Strikers. It's PBA League action. Singles, doubles, trios, and team next Sunday, 3 Eastern on ESPN. Also live on Watch ESPN. PBA Tour history. Billy Whaley, you've got company. Jason Belmonte has defended his Masters title and went back-to-back in the majors. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, this is Mike Jakubowski. Congratulations, Jason Belmonte.